Three beloved isles.
One beloved station, Radio Cayman.
The voice.
The heart.
The soul of the Cayman Islands.
For the Record is brought to you by Vamped Motors, the only authorized Ford and Toyota dealership serving the Cayman Islands. Coca-Cola, available across the Cayman Islands from Tortuga distributors. Accept no substitutes. Taste the feeling with Coca-Cola. Brand Source Home Gallery, inspiring luxury. West Bay Pharmacy, taking care of your health. And JN Money.
From abroad to yard.
Fast, affordable, convenient. Doctors Hospital. Peace of mind is important when life happens. Doctors Hospital, always there for you. Call 949-6066.
This is For the Record with Ort Connor.
Coming to you live from Radio Cayman Studio.
For the record.
For the record. For the record. Hear from your government officials, independents, and the opposition on issues that matter to you. For the record. Engage in an open dialogue between residents and lawmakers.
For the record.
For the record. For the record. Informative, impartial, insightful.
This is your talk show.
1-800-534-8255. Your calls, your input. This is For the Record. And now, your host, Ort Connor.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, O land of soft, fresh breezes and verdant trees so fair. Today is Monday, the first day of August 2022, right here in the beautiful Cayman Islands. We hope and we trust that everyone had a restful, peaceful, enjoyable weekend. Those of you who are on the roads of the Cayman Islands, whether you're a pedestrian or a cyclist or operating any type of motorized vehicle, we urge you to please, please, please be extremely cautious. Ensure that you observe the rules of the road. Remember, the life you save may be your own. For those of you who are celebrating a birthday today, we want to wish you a happy birthday. Or if you've celebrated one over the past few days, a belated happy birthday to you as well. And we also want to remind you that the birthday shout-outs are proudly brought to you by life insurance agents Michael Webster and Randa Lawson from Cayman Insurance Center. And they remind you, don't take chances with your family's future. Those of you who have lost loved ones, again, we want to extend our sincere condolences to you. We hope and we trust that your faith will help to carry you through these extremely challenging times, and that the memories of your loved ones will be a blessing to you as well. For those of you who are ill and are either at home here in the Cayman Islands or at a medical facility overseas, we wish you a speedy recovery as well. So, folks, I want to thank you for allowing Radio Cayman, and by extension For the Record, into your homes, into your vehicles, as you traverse the busy roads of the Cayman Islands, into your places of work, wherever that may be. As you know, For the Record is a show produced by the staff and management of Radio Cayman, and it is geared towards keeping you abreast of issues as they arise and play out on the local, regional, and international scene. I'm your host, Ort Connor, and you're welcome to join me every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 7:30 a.m. until 10 a.m. During that period, our phone lines are open. As usual, beautiful radio voice of Miss Susan Watson waiting to take your calls. You can call us on our toll-free number provided courtesy of Flo. That toll-free number is 1-800-534-8255. You can also call us on 949-8037 and 949-6990. Email us at For the Record, one word, For the Record at candw.ky. WhatsApp us 925-3261, where you can send us a text message or leave us a voice note, the contents of which will be played during the course of the show. And of course, you can follow us on YouTube simply by subscribing to Radio Cayman live stream. With this being the segment from 7:30 until 7:45 for the birthday shout-outs this morning. If you have any to share, please call in and let us know, or send us a WhatsApp message. And what does it say about, or what does it mean to be born on the 1st of August? So let's see what Google says about that. It says, this is by Jill M. tells you that Leos born on the 1st of August have a somewhat haughty personality, but they are lovable people. They need the validation of others, yet they are not likely to sacrifice their true self to that aim, or to seek that validation. So let's read that again. So Leos born on the 1st of August, they have a somewhat haughty personality, but are lovable people. They need the validation of others. That means, they need that reassurance. People need to, say positive things about them. Yet they are not likely to sacrifice their true self in that aim to seek validation. So if you're a Leo, if you're born on the 1st of August, say to yourself, does that aptly describe me? Is that really me? And if tell us about it. Let us know whether or not it actually describes you. So let's see now if we can find some persons. I'm sure that there are famous persons in the Cayman Islands who were born today. Born on the 1st of August of some year. And let's see if we can locate those famous persons who were born on the 1st of August. If we can get this computer to respond. Okay, meantime, so here we go in the meantime. So this day in history, the 1st of August in history, and there are so many things that happen on the 1st of August. But what we're going to look at the period from, we're going to look at the period 1901 to present, some of the things that actually occurred. Starting with, in 1907, we had the start of the first scout camp at Brownsea Island, the origin of the worldwide scouting movement. That was on the 1st of August, 1907. 1st of August, 1911, Harriet Quimbley takes her first pilot's test and becomes the first U.S. woman to earn an Aero Club of America Aviator's Certificate. On the 1st of August 1914, the German Empire declares war on the Russian Empire. At the opening of World War I, the Swiss Army mobilizes because of World War I as well. 1st of August 1927, we had the Nan Chang Uprising. It marks the first significant battle in Chinese civil war between the Kuomintang and the Chinese Communist Party. This day is commemorated as the anniversary of the founding of the People's Liberation Army. On the 1st of August 1933, we had anti-fascist activists Bruno Tesch, Walter Muller, Karl Wolff, and August Lütgens. They were executed by the Nazis regime in Altona. On the 1st of August 1936, the Olympics opened in Berlin with a ceremony presided over by Adolf Hitler. And of course, we know the story of the great Jesse Owens at the Olympics in 1936 as well. 1st of August 1937, Joseph Broz Tito reads the resolution, Manifesto of Constitutional Congress of the KPH to the Consultative Congress, that's the Croatian party. In 1943, 1st of August, World War II, Operation Tidal Wave, also known as Black Sunday, was a failed American attempt to destroy Romanian oil fields. 1944, the 1st of August, World War II, the Warsaw Uprising against Nazi Germany. Occupation breaks out in Warsaw, Poland. 1st of August, 1946, leaders of the Russian Liberation Army, a force of Russian prisoners of war that collaborated with Nazi Germany. They were executed in Moscow in the Soviet Union for treason. 1st of August, 1950, Guam is organized as an unincorporated territory of the United States as President Harry S. Truman signs the Guam Organic Act. 1st of August, 1957, the United States and Canada formed the North American Defense Command, NORAD. 1st of August, 1960, Dahomey, later renamed Benin, declares independence from France. Also on the 1st of August, 1960, Islamabad is declared the federal capital of the government of Pakistan. On the 1st of August, 1961, the U.S. Defense Secretary Robert McNamara orders the creation of the Defense Intelligence Agency, the nation's first centralized military espionage organization. On the 1st of August, 1964, the former Belgian Congo is renamed the Democratic Republic of the Congo. And the 1st of August, 1965, there was a novel by Frank Herbert entitled Dune. It was published for the first time. It was named as the world's best-selling science fiction novel in 2003. 1st of August, 1966, Charles Whitman kills 16 people at the University of Texas at Austin before being killed by police. Also on the 1st of August, 1966, purges of intellectuals and imperialists become official China policy. At the beginning of the Cultural Revolution, and you know the Cultural Revolution, Mao Zedong, also known as Chairman Mao. On the 1st of August, 1968, the coronation is held for the Sultan of Brunei. In 1971, the 1st of August, the concert of Bangladesh, organized by former Beatle George Harrison, is held at Madison Square Garden in New York City. 1st of August, 1974, Cyprus dispute. The United Nations Security Council authorizes the UNFICYP to create the Green Line, dividing Cyprus into two zones. On the 1st of August, 1976, Nicolata has a severe accident that almost claims his life at the German Grand Prix in Nürburgring. 1st of August, 1980. What we had there, someone appointed or elected as the president of Iceland. 1st of August, 1980, a train crash kills 18 people in Cook County, Ireland. 1st of August, 1981, MTV begins broadcasting in the United States and airs its first video. Video killed the radio star by the Buggles. 1st of August, 1984, commercial peat cutters discover the preserved bog body of a man called Ludlow Man at Ludlow Moss in Cheshire, England. 1st of August, 1988, a British soldier was killed in the Inglis barracks bombing in London, England. 1st of August, 1993, the Great Mississippi and Missouri River flood of 1993 comes to a peak. 1st of August, 2004, a supermarket fire kills 396 people and injures 500 others in Ascension, Paraguay. 1st of August, 2007, the I-35 West Mississippi River Bridge spanning the Mississippi River in Minneapolis, Minnesota collapses during the evening rush hour, killing 13 people and injuring 45. 1st of August 2008, the Beijing Tianjin intercity railway begins operation. 2008, 11 mountaineers from International Expedition died at K2, the second highest mountain on Earth, in the world's single accident in history of K2 mountaineering. And 1st of August 2017, a suicide attack on a mosque in Herat, Afghanistan, kills 20 people during that time as well. Folks, we have to take a commercial break. Please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
The Cayman Islands boasts of a long, colorful, and rich history. In tribute to our roots, Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands, is pleased to bring you the Historical Vignette Series, brought to you by Rotary Central. For more than 110 years, Rotary members have used their passion, energy, and intelligence to take action on sustainable projects. The Cayman Islands, He hath founded it upon the seas.
Since its early beginnings, the Cayman Islands tourism product has targeted middle to upper class segments. In 1949, Benson Greenall, a wealthy British visitor, began construction on the empty West Bay beach of the Galleon Beach Hotel with a dozen rooms. Greenall was instrumental in the passage of the Caymanian Hotels and Aid Law of 1950, which provided exemptions for import duties and taxes for anyone building a hotel with more than 10 rooms. Along with the Galleon, the new law kick-started the development fury with Marin's Seaview Lodge and Pageant Beach Hotel. By 1960, there were 9 hotels, clubs, and guest houses in the Cayman Islands.
Radio Cayman's Historical Vignettes was brought to you by Rotary Central. For more than 110 years, Rotary members have used their passion, energy, and intelligence to take action on sustainable projects.
Since 1993, Rotary Central has worked diligently each year to provide quality bus shelters to our community, a traveling convenience to our school children, the elderly, young people going to work, guest workers, and visitors using the public bus. We, Rotary Central, help you, our advertisers, make it happen. Your marketing dollar travels a far way, positioning your message, your product, your services, your presence in over 83 bus shelters. Every dollar you spend, every advert you place helps to build another bus shelter, providing modest comfort for Cayman travelers. Reserve space now on the only billboard medium in the Cayman Islands. Email rotaryshelters@gmail.com. rotaryshelters@gmail.com. The Bus Shelters, a partner in community convenience. Another inspiration program by Rotary Central Cayman Islands.
Hi, I'm life insurance agent Michael Webster.
And I am Randy Lawson from Cayman Insurance Center.
Proud sponsors of the birthday shoutouts on For the Record.
Whether you're another year older or just a year wiser,
making sure your family is protected is a pretty wise choice. I'm Michael Webster at 925-5433.
And I am Randy Lawson at 322-2145. Give us a call today to find out how you can better secure your family's future.
Cayman Insurance Center, protecting you and your family so you can take back your future.
What's that? No sugar, same amazing taste? Coca-Cola Zero Sugar is here to stay. Classic taste, pure satisfaction. Be sure to stop into any Tortuga location and get your own case of Coke Zero. Or grab an ice-cold one straight from the cooler. Brought to you by Tortuga Distributors Limited. Coca-Cola, taste the feeling, Cayman.
JN Money, money touchdown. Send the money now, reach wow. You say you need some money, JN Money, I go send it in a hurry. Get through quick when you come collect your cash, or use a money card and swipe it in a flash. Send funds to any bank, yeah. Pay your bills quick, yeah. Low fees, you know what it, yeah. JN Money, we are pick, yeah. Send and receive funds at any JN Money location. It's fast, affordable, and convenient. Money touchdown with JN Money. Send funds to any bank, yeah. Pay your bills quick, yeah. Low fees, you know what it, yeah. JN Money, we are pick, yeah.
Call 345-945-2014 for details. Available at JN Money locations across the Cayman Islands. Hi, I'm remodeling our bathroom. I have a few questions.
Sure.
What are some ideas to make my bathroom feel larger? How do I know if I'm picking the right vanity? How do I choose a new toilet or a new countertop? Also, the lighting is terrible. Can I put a window or a skylight? And do I really need an exhaust fan?
You've come to the right place. At Brand Source, we custom design kitchen and baths, and our talented design team can help answer your questions. Whether you're looking for a modern, functional family bathroom or a luxurious personal retreat, we'll help create that beautiful space that makes your home yours. And if you're in a rush for a new look and have a limited budget, our ready-to-install bathroom vanities, built with solid wood and countertops of the finest materials, are a quick and easy remodeling solution.
For the very best in custom-designed kitchens and baths, visit Brand Source Home Gallery on Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park, Cayman's Kitchen and Bath Center.
We think it's time you crossed over to a new vehicle. And with the Toyota Corolla Cross now at Vamped Motors, you have plenty of reasons to make the switch. The crossover body and hybrid engine is a sleek design in a sturdy structure with a spacious interior that opens to extensive cargo space. Stuck in traffic? The high-performance self-charging hybrid system automatically switches between gas and electric vehicle mode, helping you lower both fuel costs and carbon emissions. The Corolla Cross has full LED lighting inside and out, an integrated display audio system with energy monitor, and a dual-zone climate control system to ensure comfort for all. Test drive the new Toyota Corolla Cross Hybrid today at Vamped Motors, Walkers Road.
System 1 loaded.
1-800-534-8255. What is on your mind when it comes to the government, independence, and the opposition? Issues that matter to you. 1-800-534-8255. Waiting to hear from you. For the Record.
This is For the Record with Ort Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. We have some birthday shout-outs as well. And this one says we want to wish Miss Andrea Townsend a happy birthday. And those birthday greetings are coming from the McFarlane family. They say that they appreciate all that you do, and they say that may God continue to bless you as well. Miss Andrea Townsend, coming from the McFarlane family. Also, let's go and see what we have as yesterday we had Miss Annika Miller celebrating a birthday, and Sandy Squire also celebrated a birthday yesterday. That's the 29th. Sorry about that. Okay. The 2nd of August, that's tomorrow. So Miss Harriet Vassell will be celebrating a birthday tomorrow. Since we won't be on tomorrow, we'll be on Wednesday. Instead of having to wish her a belated happy birthday, we will wish her a birthday in advance. So Miss Harriet Vassell celebrating a birthday. Also, Tiffany Gail Griffiths celebrating a birthday tomorrow as well. And we had something about a club. Miss Susan, can you repeat that for me? The Lioness Football. Oh, the Lioness won the Euro 2022 tournament. I'll go online and look that up and see if I can provide you with additional details on that as well. So what else? Let's talk a little bit more about the 1st of August. And what's so special about the 1st of August today? Well, it is the 213th day of the year, 214th in a leap year. In leap years, it's the 214th day. In the regular years, it's 213th day. That's in the Gregorian calendar. Also, just to remind you, 152 days remain until the end of the year. So we have 152 days left before the end of the year as well. Okay, switch gears a little bit here. And, we try to ensure that we create a balance when it comes to our discussions. And on the 29th, which would have been Friday, the Ministry of Sustainability and Climate Resilience issued a press release on the government's response to the North Sound Sargassum influx. And of course, you heard the leader of the opposition and the deputy leader of the opposition on the show on Wednesday talking about the Sargassum issue as well. So this says that the Ministry of Sustainability and Climate Resilience and the Department of Environment are leading emergency response efforts to address the large amount of Sargassum seaweed in the North Sound of Grand Cayman. A trial to pump Sargassum out of the water and transport the seaweed to one or more on-land disposal sites began on the 29th. For more details on this effort and long-term solutions to anticipate and address future Sargassum stranding events, then they issued the press release in that regard. And here's what the press release basically says. Like I said before, it spoke about the these things. Okay, ministry talks again about the ministry and the Department of Environment. The Premier, Honorable G. Wayne Patton, JPMP, and the ministry has committed to complete a national response plan to mitigate the Sargassum arriving in our waters and on our shores. There is a significant environmental concern caused by the Sargassum on our beaches and in our waters. Although the previous administration established a task force to tackle this issue, there was no national plan or strategy produced. The equipment is inadequate to resolve the current Sargassum issues. That's a quote by Premier. The Ministry of Sustainability and Climate Resilience, Department of Environment, and the Ministry of Planning will be developing a specific set of policies and plans to address the anticipated scenarios before the Sargassum settles on our shores. To address this urgent matter, Ministry Chief Officer Jennifer Ahern said a multi-agency response has been mobilized within the Cayman Islands government, including the Department of Environment, Hazard Management Cayman Islands, and the Department of Environmental Health. The Cayman Islands government is working to address the current situation in the North Sound and put in place long-term solutions to deal quickly with future incidents. Unfortunately, the influxes of Sargassum we are seeing in the Cayman Islands are driven by external factors such as climate change and represent an emerging long-term issue that we will have to manage on an ongoing annual basis, she's quoted as saying. Also said, our immediate priority is addressing the Sargassum influx in the North Sound, and the Department of Environment is leading a trial to remove seaweed with a private company. Starting Friday the 29th of July, the trial will involve pumping Sargassum out of the water and transporting the seaweed to one or more on-island disposal sites. Department of Environment Director Gina Ebanks-Petrie is quoted as saying that the trial will determine the feasibility of the strategy given the volume of Sargassum. Hope I can finish this before we reach the 8 o'clock news. There are a number of environmental, public health, and economic consequences of larger-scale Sargassum landings and the ongoing impacts on the nearby residents, businesses, and marine environment require an appropriate response. The DOE has contracted with a local service provider to trial removal of the Sargassum from the waters utilizing a pumping system. This will determine whether the volume that can be removed using this methodology are sufficient to make a meaningful difference. And that's a quote from Ms. Gina Ebanks-Petrie. Top of the hour, 8 o'clock news. Folks, please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back immediately after the 8 o'clock news.
Thank you, Mr. Conner. And studio time now by Foster's is 8 o'clock.
Looking for better prices?
You'll always find them at Foster's.
Just like Bounty Select-A-Size, $6.49. Save $1.50.
Or find better value on Stone Ridge Creamery ice cream. 48 ounce, just $4.49. Save 80 cents. And Distinction Sweetened Condensed Milk, $1.09. Save 40 cents.
You'll find even more great specials across the island at all Foster's locations and online at fosters.ky. Foster's, better prices because we care.
Price is good until 10th August 2022.
The voice of the Cayman Islands.
89.9 FM in Grand Cayman and 93.9 FM in Cayman Brac and Little Cayman.
Silver wings shining in the sunlight.
Radio Cayman.
The 8 a.m. news is brought to you by ValueMed Pharmacy. Save time and order your prescription refills online at value-medpharmacy.com. VALU-medpharmacy.com.
For today's biggest news.
Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands.
With your latest news, I'm Carsley Fuller. A rescue at sea Sunday night.
Overall, this was great teamwork by all of the entities involved in helping to save 3 lives last night.
Coast Guard Commander Robert Scotland tells Radio Cayman just before 8 p.m., 911 got a report of a capsized vessel with people in the water near 12 Mile Bank. A general call for any vessels who heard the transmission requesting assistance was aired by both the Port Authority and the Operations and Rescue Coordination Center. The Coast Guard and the Royal Cayman Islands Police Services Air Operations Unit were deployed, and shortly after takeoff, the boat and its passengers were spotted by the helicopter X-Ray 1, which relayed the vessel coordinates to the responding Coast Guard vessel that was already en route. All 3 people were rescued and taken to Georgetown Harbor, where they were met by medical first aid responders. Police tracked down a fugitive over the weekend. The Royal Cayman Islands Police Service says on Saturday they arrested Charles Walton III on suspicion of robbery. The 25-year-old had been on the run, with police issuing a call for help from the public back on July 21st. A similar call was issued for Lucido Hernandez, wanted in relation to firearms offenses. He is still at large, and police are asking anyone with information to call the Georgetown Police Station on 949-4222. You can also submit a tip anonymously by calling 947-7777. Under the Police Act, it is an offense to obstruct, mislead, or act in any way to prevent the apprehension of a person who has committed an offense. If busted, you're looking at a penalty of a fine of $5,000 or imprisonment for up to 2 years. And only a few weeks left for local servers and chefs to put their skills to the test for a chance to compete in Monaco. CIGTV's Takia Smith has more.
Caymanian chefs and waiters aged 26 and under are being called to compete in Cayman's first Young Chef, Young Waiter competition. The competition, which is set for the 13th of September, will focus on sustainability and hospitality, plus support the education and development of local culinary talent. Winners of the local competition will have a chance to compete in the World Final this November in Monaco. Entry is free to eligible participants. To enter, visit youngchefyoungwaiter.com/Cayman Islands. The deadline for entry is Wednesday, 17th August.
In regional news, a group of 141 Haitian migrants were stranded on Cuba's southern coast as part of a series of large-scale efforts by Haitians to flee their troubled nation. The official Cuba Debate website said that the group landed on Friday with 22 children and several pregnant women. It said they had all set out 8 days earlier west of the Haitian capital. Migrants said they had hoped to reach Miami but were blown off course by bad weather. Cuba Debate said the group was given medical aid and taken to a youth camp. In late May, 842 Haitians were rescued from a boat off Cuba's north coast where they had been abandoned by smugglers. Now with a check of international news, here's the BBC, which will take us out of the newscast. I'm Karsley Fuller from Radio Cayman's newsroom.
BBC News with Jerry Smith. The first grain ship to be allowed to leave the Ukrainian port of Odessa since the start of the conflict with Russia is heading southwards through the Black Sea. The vessel is following a strict route through a safe corridor negotiated by the United States and by the United Nations and Turkey. One of Russia's leading critics of the war in Ukraine has been put into intensive care in hospital. Anatoly Chubais was a special envoy for Vladimir Putin, but resigned in protest at the invasion. Friends of Mr. Chubais said he could be suffering from a sudden neurological illness. More than 80 people are due to appear in court in South Africa today, charged with crimes relating to an attack at a mining dump. Police say the group might also be linked to the rape of 8 women who were filming a music video at the site. Opponents of the military government in Myanmar have condemned an announcement by the leader of February's coup, Min Aung Hlaing, that he'll stay in power for another 6 months. A spokesperson for the government in exile said the general's offer of fresh elections next year was a sham. India has recorded its first death from monkeypox. Officials in the southern state of Kerala say a 22-year-old man died in hospital at the weekend. It's the 4th fatality reported outside Africa. Bulgaria's government has been dissolved and a general election set for October. The governing coalition collapsed after its efforts to curb corruption were hampered, and one political party withdrew its support. And those are the latest stories from BBC News.
The 8 a.m. news is brought to you by ValueMed Pharmacy. Save time and order your prescription refills online at value-medpharmacy.com. VALU-medpharmacy.com.
Now, more than ever, supporting your immune system is crucial to helping your body fight off illnesses like the common cold, the flu, and COVID-19. At ValueMed Pharmacy on Walkers Road and in Buttontown, we carry all the essential vitamins and minerals to help support your immune system and improve your overall health. Some of our top immunity support picks are vitamin C, vitamin D, zinc, elderberry, and quercetin, or the popular 7-in-1 immunity support. Our pharmacists are always on hand to help guide you and answer any questions. Visit ValueMed Pharmacy on Walkers Road or Buttontown. Live happy, live healthy with ValueMed Pharmacy.
Stay in touch with Radio Cayman for the latest in news and information.
Follow Radio Cayman on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Download the Radio Cayman app or log on to our website, www.radiocayman.gov.ky.
Radio Cayman, your voice, your choice, your radio.
Cybercrime happens online or through the technology we use every day. Anyone can be a victim of cybercrime, whether you are a young person being bullied or harassed online, or an older person or business who's been scammed out of money or personal data. Cybercrime is an issue that touches all of us. The Cayman Islands government has therefore created an online resource to help keep you cyber safe in an ever-changing world.
In online situations, it is better to be cyber safe than sorry. Learn now to protect yourself against cybercrime. Visit gov.ky/cybersafe.
Since 1993, Rotary Central has worked diligently each year to provide quality bus shelters to our community. A traveling convenience to our school children, the elderly, young people going to work, guest workers, and visitors using the public bus. We, Rotary Central, help you, our advertisers, make it happen. Your marketing dollar travels a far way. Positioning your message, your product, your services, your presence in over 83 bus shelters. Every dollar you spend, every advert you place helps to build another bus shelter, providing modest comfort for Cayman travelers. Reserve space now on the only billboard medium in the Cayman Islands. Email rotaryshelters@gmail.com. rotaryshelters@gmail.com. The Bus Shelters, a partner in community convenience. Another inspiration program by Rotary Central Cayman Islands.
Superior Auto is pleased to announce the grand reopening of the new Superior Auto Apprenticeship Center on Seymour Drive. New opportunities, new beginnings, a new home for Caymanian youth seeking career training and certification in high-demand trades such as automotive repair, AC, refrigeration, and so much more. Put the value in your pocket. Fun fact, the average hourly rate for a tradesman can be 4.5 times the minimum wage. The Superior Auto Apprenticeship Center is a not-for-profit program. exam. Contact 949-9570 or 525-9571 to apply today. The Superior Auto Apprenticeship Center, successfully building the next generation of hardworking Caymanians since 2010. The 8:12 a.m. weather report brought to you by CG Britcay, where people come first.
Head east on Cove Road. Sharp left on Church Street. Sharper left. No, your other left. Did I say left? No, you missed it. Okay, I'm lost.
With money-saving bundling options for home and motor, we're like a GPS that doesn't steer you wrong. CG Britcay. Good like that.
Let's stop and ask for directions.
Pleasant good morning. Let's take a look at the latest weather report. Current temperature is 84 degrees. Relative humidity is 84%. The barometric pressure 30.04 inches and rising. The wind is out of the east at 8 knots. Overnight low temperature was 83 degrees. Synopsis indicate moderate easterly winds and seas expected to continue across the Cayman area for the next 24 hours as a ridge of high pressure lingers north of the Caribbean. Further east, a tropical wave over Jamaica is moving west at 20 knots and is expected to move through the Cayman area late tonight, supporting a slight increase in cloudiness and showers. Now, the forecast for today calling for partly cloudy skies becoming cloudy at times with a 40% chance of morning showers and possible thunder. Temperatures will rise to the low 90s. Winds will be east to northeast at 10 to 15 knots, and seas will be slight to moderate with wave heights of 2 to 4 feet. The forecast for tonight calling for partly cloudy skies with a 30% chance of late night showers and possible thunder, and temperatures falling to the mid-70s tonight. Winds will be east to northeast at 10 to 15 knots, and seas will be slight to moderate with wave heights of 2 to 4 feet. Today's high tide will occur this morning at 11:42, low tide this evening at 5:26, and a high tide again tonight at 11:46. The sun will set this evening at a minute after 7 and will rise tomorrow morning at 3 minutes past 6. And the outlook is calling for a decrease in cloudiness and showers from Monday evening as the wave moves west of the Cayman area.
The 8:12 a.m. weather report brought to you by CG Britcay, where people come first.
Good morning, everyone. Hello? Hello? Oh, sorry, I was on mute. Okay, I see we have just about everyone, and of course Tom drops off, as per usual. Let's just wait a minute here. He always comes right back, and we're almost ready, and... oh, whoever's dog that is, please go on mute. Why won't it let me share my screen? Okay, looks like we're ready to start.
We're like a video conference with no technical issues. CG Britcay. Good like that.
During these unprecedented times, Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands, is pleased to bring you the Cayman Strong Series. The Cayman Strong Series is brought to you by Encourse Cayman. Visit encourse.ky to view a full list of wellness services and their qualified team. Encourse Cayman, health, wellness, and happiness.
Achieving your goals is a very rewarding feeling, but at times can feel very frustrating, especially if and when we miss our target. As you approach your goals in life, set yourself up for success.
When setting goals, adjust as necessary. When goal setting, anticipate ups and downs. Often it will be easier to stick to some goals than others, so allow yourself to have some flexibility in your approach and assessment. Continue to dream and adjust the end game to maintain interest and motivation. Ask yourself, is this really my goal? If it is a goal imposed by others, then consider what may be in it for you. Why would you do this? There is always the option not to do it. Figure out why you're doing it and then go for it.
Change your thinking and change your life.
During these unprecedented times, Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands, is pleased to bring you the Cayman Strong Series. The Cayman Strong Series is brought to you by Encourse Cayman. Visit oncourse.ky to view a full list of wellness services and their qualified team. OnCourse Cayman, health, wellness, and happiness.
These days, feelings of loneliness, anxiety, stress, and depression can be overwhelming. Just know you are not alone. OnCourse Cayman offers private mental health services for children, teens, adults, and groups. Visit oncourse.ky to view a full list of wellness services and their qualified team. OnCourse Cayman, health, wellness, and happiness.
The traffic report is brought to you by Subway. Planning a meeting, event, or office celebration? Visit subway.ky to place your catering order today.
Good morning once again. Let's take a look at traffic. Traffic is steady coming off of the Esther Tibbetts Highway. Busy traffic on Cool Road heading to Georgetown, and eastbound traffic on Cool Road is moving along at a moderate pace. As we look to the east, coming off of the Wright Scriton Boulevard, traffic is steady but flowing, as well as on Shamrock Road. Light to moderate traffic flow coming from the West Bay four-way stop. 8 Wood Street, moderate flow of traffic, as well as on Godfrey Nixon Way and Eastern Avenue. A different story coming off of Bobby Thompson Way, as traffic is busy. Around the West Bay Road in front of the Ritz, traffic is moderate in both directions. That's what's happening on your roads. Join us again at about 10 minutes after 12 o'clock. We'll give you another traffic report. Remember, click it or ticket.
From boat days to beach gatherings, leave the catering to Subway. Choose from small and large sandwich platters, double meat wrap platters, and top it off with optional cookie platters for dessert. Or ask about our Subway box to go with the option of 6-inch or foot-long sandwich, 1 cookie, and 1 bag of chips. For all occasions and celebrations, let Subway focus on the food so you can focus on the fun. Visit subway.ky for catering options. Subway. Eat fresh.
The traffic report is brought to you by Subway. Planning a meeting, event, or office celebration? Visit subway.ky to place your catering order today.
From food to construction materials to office supplies, chances are a truck brought it to you. Superior Auto honors the value that the trucking community brings to these islands. Reliable, quality-trained technicians who value your time and aim to get your trucks back in service so you can continue to be of service to your customers. Specializing in complete Isuzu, Hino, and other models of delivery box trucks and its repairs, including computer diagnostics, mechanical, and body repair. Superior Auto, 525-9571 or 949-9570. Keep on trucking with Superior Auto.
Whether it's routine care or highly complex surgery, when it comes to your health, you want the best. Health City has Cayman's most comprehensive range of in-house medical services. Recognized for quality and excellence, Health City brings together expert doctors, the best technology, and the latest techniques to understand your health and ensure you get the care you need. From Camana Bay to East End, you can trust the team at Health City. Health City, world-class healthcare within your reach.
For the record, with Ort Connor.
Initiating system. For information that matters. For the record, with Ort Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. No guest in the studio, but I have a very important guest on the line. So those of you who are planning on calling in, I'm going to ask you to hold off on your calls until about 15 minutes because I'm going to have an interview with a very, very special person. You would have heard me talk about this individual several weeks ago about a trip being made to Poland. We had a connection just now, and we may have lost that connection. So we're hoping that the call may come back through. So until that occurs, okay, we do have her. We do have a person on the line. Dr. Melanie Moore, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning. How are you?
I am fine. How are you doing?
Good. I'm enjoying the nice Canadian summer while it lasts.
Yes, very good. Now I know many people are curious to know, who you are, who your mama is, who your daddy is. So what we're going to do, we're going to start with that, and then I want you to talk, about your education, the road that has taken you to where you are today, and then I want you to talk and tell us about what prompted you to go to Poland, and tell us of your experiences there as well. So the mic is yours, Miss Mel.
Sure. So newly known as Dr. Melanie Moore, I am Caymanian born and raised. My mom is Lorna Walton, and my dad is Alan Moore. Some of you may know him as Haha. Growing up on an island, it's very obvious that we have a huge stray dog and cat population that we've been trying to deal with for years. And my mom was always very big on rescuing animals. So I think that really sparked an interest in me from a very young age to go into a profession where I can not only help animals, but help people as well. So a lot of my studies were surrounded around animal biology, and then I went on to complete my veterinary medicine degree in Canada. So I'm currently practicing in Canada at the moment, and my overall goal is to go into specialty medicine, which is shelter medicine, which is very close to my heart.
Okay, that's a good start. And tell us about your schooling here in the Cayman Islands, your local schooling, and then I think you were in Scotland before you went to Canada to vet school.
Yeah, so I went to St. Ignatius Catholic School, so all of my schooling was done there, and then I went on to complete my A-levels. After I graduated, I actually went on to Wales. That's where I did my bachelor's in animal science. After that, then I went on to complete my veterinary medicine degree at the University of Guelph in Ontario, Canada.
Okay. Now, I also am aware that a local institution here was extremely instrumental in providing you with job experience after school, in the evenings, weekends you spent your time. Now, talk a little bit about the local institution that was so instrumental in assisting you as well.
So one thing growing up in the Cayman Islands that I realized, mentorship and having a really good role model in your life is imperative to going into the field that you want to go into. At a very young age, I told you I knew that I wanted to do this, but I needed to gain experience. So I started volunteering at Island Veterinary Services, and Dr. Brenda really took me under her wing as a young Caymanian, showed me the ropes, and was always there to continue to guide me on this path. So I started working with her at the age of 14 and continued through all of my undergraduate degree in Wales. And when I go back home, I'll often spend some of my time there as well. So she played a very pivotal role in helping me on my journey to veterinary medicine.
Okay. And now tell us about your experiences so far in Canada. How long have you been practicing? And if you want to call the name of the institution that you're working at, you may do so as well. That's up to you.
Yeah, sure. So the course here was 4 years. So I've been here for about 5 years. I graduated from the university last year, June. So I'm fresh out. I've only been a year practicing veterinary medicine. And it's definitely been a year filled with happiness, laughter, and lots of tears as well, but great learning experiences. I currently work for a local shelter, the Sarnia Animal Humane Society, and I also work for a private practice as well, Brights Grove Animal Hospital. So I think it's a really great way for me to tie in my passion because I'm able to do a lot of community work. And that was what drove me to go into this profession from the beginning. I think the biggest thing that I've realized throughout all of my training is veterinary medicine is not an easily accessible profession for people that need to access care for their pets. There's a lot of barriers that prevent people from accessing care for their pets. May that be socioeconomic barriers, may that be language barriers. So I really try to take it on to make sure that I try to provide as accessible care as I can to those that need it within the community.
Okay. Now, we know, we constantly hear from university graduates about opportunities that they have in other jurisdictions for employment and for experience. Of course, here in the Cayman Islands, we encourage our graduates to come back home. But there are many challenges. There are some challenges when they return home as well, coming to a small jurisdiction with a population that is what the recent census says we're about 71,000 persons here in the Cayman Islands. I'm not sure how many Caymanian vets that we have, but we certainly have veterinarians, I'm sure, who are here on work permits as well. So the employment challenges in Cayman can be extremely pressing. What drove you to decide to stay in Canada as opposed to return home? And I know that you had several really good offers in Canada. It was almost like, everyone was reaching out, trying to grab a hold of you to employ you.
Yeah, so I would say right now the veterinary profession in Canada is definitely interesting. We're actually facing a vet shortage because there's just not enough vets to provide medical care. So for me personally, I'm Caymanian and I'm very proud to be from the island that I'm from. So my overall goal is always to come back home and bring that experience that I've learned and gained throughout the way to directly implement into my country. Mm-hmm. But as of right now, I still feel that I have a lot of goals that I want to check off along the way. Okay. I mentioned that I kind of want to go more into specialty medicine and shelter medicine to be exact. So that will allow me to focus more from a community aspect and to provide care for, people of lesser incomes and animals that really need it, that can't necessarily afford to go to, a fancy GP practice. So I really wanted to stay here because I felt like I still had a little bit more to learn. And I'm grateful for the opportunities that I've been able to go on to since graduating. So I would say my timeline is always to end back home, but for right now, I want to soak up as much knowledge and experience as I can before I do so.
Okay, excellent. Tell us now about your trip to Poland. What prompted it? What did you take with you? What did you do over there? And your personal views on the situation in that area.
Yes, so my parents will always tell you that I can be a little bit stubborn, but when I feel drawn to something, there's really no stopping me. And growing up and seeing all the community work that my dad did, if he had his last dollar, he would give that and probably his clothes off his back. My dad is very community driven and loves to help people. So I think I've always been that type of person. And one thing I love about my training is that I can go anywhere in the world and be able to practice and help. So when I saw everything going on in the Ukraine, it was something that really impacted me for one of many reasons. Obviously, the sadness of what's going on. And you look at the images of people that don't want to leave the country unless they can take their pets. Mm-hmm. And because of that, at the border, they were facing a huge overload because a lot of these pets needed to have certain vaccines and whatnot to be able to go into different countries. So you were seeing a lot of people actually refusing to leave the country because they couldn't take their pets. And that, to me, was more than just a humanitarian crisis. And I felt that I can, as a veterinarian, step in and try my best to help. So I started having some early conversations with some of the rescues in Poland and Ukraine to see what I could do in order to help. And I started facilitating this conversation a few months ago and gaining the support of my fellow Caymanian community, the Canadian community, and all of the my coworkers as well. So I contacted an organization that is actively rescuing dogs from the Ukraine and bringing them to their foundation in Poland. And they were very happy to have me. I was able to get lots of donations from a lot of people that supported me. And because of that, I was able to provide more than $5,000 worth of medical supplies to this foundation on my trip. So I was in Moldimowo, Poland, which is around 5 hours away from Warsaw. Mm-hmm. And I was directly helping the animals there. So they came over from Ukraine. The first thing I noticed is a lot of these animals are very traumatized and very under-socialized. And the goal was always to make them adoptable. So we worked tirelessly from a behavioral standpoint to get them to trust us, to get them to walk on leads. And from a medical standpoint, I did a lot of treatments in terms of like dog bites, because they were so scared and they were housed together that we were seeing endless bites. Thankfully, because of some of the supplies that I was able to bring over and from all of the other volunteers, we were able to perform some neuter or castration surgeries, which is done on the males, so that we can try to reduce some of that aggression that we were seeing. So that was, a pivotal point on my trip, to be able to directly utilize my skills to kind of help these animals. I would say for me, it was definitely an emotional trip, because I was able to communicate and meet with a lot of the Ukrainian refugees, and just seeing how grateful they were for me to come over, dedicate my time to help the animals over there was kind of unexplainable. I don't really have the words to express that. And I also told my parents that the biggest thing I learned from that trip is you don't need English to communicate. When I was over there, barely anyone spoke English. But the one thing that we did was that we had a generalized love and bond for animals. So we communicated via laughs, smiles, hugs, gestures. We got the work done. And because of that, we built such a strong bond. So I would say overall, I'm so grateful for the experience and being able to dedicate my time to help.
Okay, and I'm told that you weren't. There was no bed of roses when you were in Poland. It wasn't like you were living in a 5-star hotel or anything like that. Tell us about that.
Yes, so it was very basic conditions. So I stayed in a tent for 10 days.
Wow.
And kind of had to, readjust my lifestyle a bit. But I think it's a good learning moment for me, because I think we live in a world right now where we have things that we often take for granted. May that be a car, may that be shelter. And we often forget that there are a lot of people in the world that don't have these luxuries that we have. Mm-hmm. So I tell my parents that it was a very humbling experience, and made me kind of look at things from a whole new perspective, because although I was living in a tent for 10 days and it was certainly a struggle, I was the happiest I've been in a long time.
Wow.
Because it really made me reflect on my blessings and how grateful I am right now in my life, but also just to be happy the fact that I don't need materialistic things to continue to bring me joy.
Mm-hmm. And I'm told also that you decided to take some downtime after your stint was over in Poland. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so I went over to Norway for the last 3 days of my trip, and I was kind of in the mountains, just doing some trails, and just really kind of reflecting on my experience and thinking about how I can bring what I've learned while I was away back to, Canada and Cayman, because I feel like these experiences are ones that can change your life, and for me it did. So I was able to use that downtime to just kind of process everything and reflect on everything that occurred while I was away.
Okay. Dr. Mel, any advice that you have for young Caymanians, those aspiring to, get into the veterinary field, or in general after university, based on your experience? Any advice that you would want to give?
Yes. For me, I find that the biggest barrier for young people wanting to go into this profession is that they feel that they don't have mentors to help facilitate them and help them on this journey. And all it takes is a simple email or a phone call to somebody, and we can definitely start that process. My biggest piece of advice is never be scared to reach out to somebody for help or advice. I know that coming from a very small community in Cayman, you may not know where to turn, but I always tell the youth this. Please reach out to me, and I will make sure to give you my contact information if anyone does reach out. But I think that having a mentor to help you on this journey definitely makes things a lot easier. So always put yourself out there. Never be scared to meet people. Never be scared to network, because you can only gain. You'll never lose anything from that. Okay.
What's next in your plans?
Yes, good question. So I'm currently back in Canada right now, and I think I'm going to, continue to work for a little bit, but I hope to return home. I'm thinking in the new year and potentially do some more work with the Cayman Islands Humane Society, and just see where the rest of my journey takes me.
Okay. And anything else you want to say before you sign off?
No, I would just like to say that I'm so grateful for the Caymanian community continuing to support me along my journey. It's definitely been a long one and lots of hardships along the way, but I'm so grateful for my community, and I'm very Caymanian proud. So I just want to say thank you so much to everybody. My parents, number one, Alan Moore and Lorna Walton, who have been there from day one. So I just want to say thank you so much to everybody, because it's very humbling to have everyone's support and love.
Okay, Dr. Mel Moore Fernandez, I want to say to you that you make us proud as well. Grand Cayman and Cayman Brac, you need to feel extremely, extremely proud of the accomplishment of Dr. Mel Moore. But not only that, the bright future that she has. And if you notice during this interview, she never mentioned anything about getting rich, about making money. It is all in her heart to do what she can because she is a lover of animals. That is her passion, and as a result of that, that is the field that she took. Dr. Mel Moore, thank you very much. Please be safe and keep in contact with us.
Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure speaking to you.
Same here, my dear. Take care. Folks, we're going to take a commercial break. Please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
What's that? No sugar, same amazing taste? Coca-Cola Zero Sugar is here to stay. Classic taste, pure satisfaction. Be sure to stop into any Tortuga location and get your own case of Coke Zero. Or grab an ice-cold one straight from the cooler. Brought to you by Tortuga Distributors Limited. Coca-Cola, taste the feeling, Cayman.
At Doctor's Hospital, we know life happens, and usually when you least expect it. So when unexpected medical issues arise, you need quality care close to home. Located in the heart of Georgetown, our accomplished team of physicians and medical staff treat minor urgent conditions such as migraines, chest and abdominal pain, shortness of breath, burns, broken bones, open wounds, and more. 24 hours, 7 days a week with no appointment necessary. Peace of mind is important when life happens. At Doctor's Hospital, we're always here just for you. Need to speak to someone? Call 949-6066.
Tune in every Monday through Friday at 12 p.m. for Radio Cayman's Midday Newscast. Radio Cayman, the People's Station, your trusted official source for the latest news. The 12 p.m. news is proudly brought to you by Health City Cayman Islands. World-class healthcare within your reach.
The Department of Environmental Health would like to advise Cayman Brac residents that due to elevated seasonal temperatures, garbage collection services will now start at 4 a.m. during July and August. To avoid missed collections, please place your garbage in the enclosure a night before your scheduled pickup. For more information, contact the DEH office in Cayman Brac at 948-2321.
System 1 loaded.
1-800-534-8255. What is on your mind when it comes to the government, independence, and the opposition? Issues that matter to you. 1-800-534-8255. Waiting to hear from you. For the Record.
This is For the Record with Ort Connor.
Good morning. Welcome back to For the Record. I believe we have another caller on hold, Miss Susan. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, OC.
Good morning. Good morning. How are you?
I am great. How was your weekend?
Pretty good. Pretty good. Was cycling yesterday. Was pretty hot out there, but you know, thankfully we had a little breeze as well, so that helped.
Yep. No, this morning I'm very emotional with hearing Dr. Melanie Moore because I know her from a little baby. And because I worked with her dad was my boss.
Mm-hmm.
And it is such a joy to see what she has done with her life. It's so beautiful.
It is, yes.
I know that her father needs a surgery done today to get the smile off his face. Because it ain't nothing that can remove that.
Yeah, he's extremely proud of her. He is.
He always told me that he was going to work until his baby girl was finished with school. So I know that he will shortly enjoy the rest of his life. And I'm very proud to have had him as my boss.
Okay, and you speak highly of him. You always say that there's one person that you can call for in the planning department, and you know you're going to reach him.
That is correct. Yep. And, you know, every time she was out of school or what, she was with him. He always looked after her. So, Alan, I'm proud of you.
Okay.
Mel, I'm proud of you as well.
Thank you. Thank you very much for that. We have another caller. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
See.
Good morning.
See, how you doing?
I'm fine. How are you?
It could be a lot better, but give thanks for every day that you're on the face of the earth.
So true.
People
so
are
true.
not as fortunate, you know. So
Yep.
we're so blessed. See, what I'd like to touch on this morning is this Sargassum that we're having issues with, right? And, you know, it goes back a long time that, you know, most of our politicians refuse to use the knowledge that the Caymanian people has. I mean, let's go back 30, 40 years, maybe longer than that. And I have noticed it over the years. I mean, if you're not from Timbuktu or Timbuktu 3 or 4, then whatever you have to say or ideas, it doesn't value. But as soon as you come to this country with a different passport besides that one that says Cayman Islands, and you're an indigenous or Caymanian, it values nothing. My point is, Owen, we'll see. Me and Stanley Hill did quite a lot of coastal work together. We built Georgetown back at Air Ramp. We also did the one down in North Sound Estate. And if you see the engineering aspects of that, how we had to do that, right? I mean, working in water is not the easiest thing in the world, and it's not the simplest work in the world, right? All of them slabs were made up on land, right? And we had to do the grading underneath of the water, right? And we got our grades all right. And then when we were ready, we had to get a hell of a big crane. They all had key locks where each slab locked into each other, right? That's why they're still there.
Okay.
Right? Well done.
Yep, they have lasted, yeah.
Yeah, so me and Stanley did those. The crane picked them up, and we got them in place, and they've been there ever since, right? When I see all of the problems with the Sargassum, I mean, I don't understand why it is that people like myself and a lot of other Caymanians see things and try to bring it to their attention, but it's totally ignored, right?
So how would you handle the present Sargassum situation that we have in the Cayman Islands? What advice would you give to the government?
Well, see, on a big scale, I don't have the answers, but on a small scale, I can tell you exactly what my suggestions would be.
Okay.
You see the area like South Sound, which is not a really big, not a lot of beach space, docks area. You got silk screen, right? That is not that expensive, because how I noticed, because I does a bit of work. I actually install a silk screen in Snug Harbor for a friend of mine down there, because he has a little boat lift there also right in his yard, and he has a little slit where he goes down, and a little kind of a bay like Smith's Cove. And he gets every bit of that. So what we came up with was to put some silk screen across that and make it so he can still get his boat in. And I'm not telling you that we stopped 100% of that, but we stopped at least 75 to 80% of that seagrass that is coming into his little boat lift. And the same thing could be done in small areas of beaches. So screen could be placed out at whether you go 200 feet or 100 feet, just to stop it in its track from ruining little areas like South Sound. And I'm sure there's a lot of areas on this island that have small areas, right, that stuff like that could be done. And it's not gonna hinder, boats or anything, or any kind of other different activities that is in the water, that would be in the water. It's not gonna affect anything like that. All it would do is stop all of that Sargassum, because, I watch it every day coming down South Sound Road. And it's only a matter of time before we're not going to have one grain of sand left on our beach. And where is it going to come from? The fishes will not be able to produce it as fast anymore, because all the fish that does produce that sand, they're just about kill out. So I still do a bit of postal work on a small scale, not big scale, right? But, simple things like that could fix the problems in certain areas, because I see that machine down South Sound all the time, just maybe 75% orgasm and 25% sand. If you continue that, we can have no sand left, we'll see. And I mean, people need to see through this. So they need to come up with these ideas or ask people that has knowledge of these things, which is not going to cost an arm and a leg. But you know what's going to happen? They're going to go and buy a whole pile of equipment now for hundreds and millions of dollars. And you know what? It'll probably be useless. That I don't know. But I'm just saying, there's simple things that can be done to avoid all areas of beach around this island getting ruined.
Got you.
And
Got you.
They need to do it. Thank you very much, and have a good one.
Thank you. You do the same as well. We do have another caller, but we will take that caller as soon as we return from this commercial break. Folks, please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
JN Money touchdown. Send the money now. Reach wow. You say you need some money. JN Money, I can send it in a hurry. Get through quick when you come collect your cash, or use a money card and swipe it in a flash. Send funds to any bank, yeah. Pay your bills quick, yeah. Low fees, you know what it, yeah. JN Money, we are pick, yeah. Send and receive funds at any JN Money location. It's fast, affordable, and convenient. Money touchdown with JN Money. Send funds to any bank, yeah. Pay your bills quick, yeah. Low fees, you know what it, yeah. JN Money, we are pick, yeah.
Call 345-945-2014 for details. Available at JN Money locations across the Cayman Islands.
We think it's time you crossed over to a new vehicle. And with the Toyota Corolla Cross, now at Vant Motors, you have plenty of reasons to make the switch. The crossover body and hybrid engine is a sleek design in a sturdy structure with a spacious interior that opens to extensive cargo space. Stuck in traffic? The high-performance self-charging hybrid system automatically switches between gas and electric vehicle mode, helping you lower both fuel costs and carbon emissions. The Corolla Cross has full LED lighting inside and out, an integrated display audio system with energy monitor, and a dual-zone climate control system to ensure comfort for all. Test drive the new Toyota Corolla Cross Hybrid today at Vant Motors, Walkers Road.
At Kirk's Home Center, we can make your life much better. We got it all together. We got a great deal in store for you. From cookware to stereos, from power tools to plumbing supplies. Yeah, we got the best goods with the best price and a service to make you smile. At Kirk's Home Center, we got a great deal in store for you.
Excuse me, I noticed you from afar.
Really? Me?
Well, not you. The KFC sandwich you're eating.
Oh, Zinger.
Sorry, I'm not trying to be funny.
No, it's called the Zinger Sandwich. Crunchy, juicy, 100% chicken breast, crisp lettuce, sweet mayo on a seeded bun with a little zing. KFC's chicken is not factory breaded, frozen and refried like the Burger Boys. Customize your KFC Zinger and dip it in barbecue sauce.
Wow, now I'm starting to notice you too.
KFC, it's finger-licking good.
For the record, with Ort Connor.
Initiating system.
For information that matter. For the record with Orit Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning. Welcome back to For the Record. We do have a caller, actually two callers on hold. So let's grab the first caller. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, O.C. How are you doing?
Good morning. I'm fine. How are you?
Good, sir. Just have 2 quick points. First of all, that last caller there, that is a topic that I hate to hear about because, as I always thought from a young person, sarcasm is having fun at the expense of others, and I do not tolerate sarcasm. It is a very dangerous thing. Just a little morning joke. But seriously, the doctor that was on, congratulations to her as well. Very extreme. That's the main reason I called.
Mm-hmm.
We have some outstanding young people. Dr. Chisholm, Dr. Bush, Phil Bush's wife.
Mm-hmm.
We
Brenda.
also have Mr. Farmer Shante from the back. His daughter, I think, is the doctor. Or if not, she's the doctor. She's almost there. and Dr. Pedley, the Gorman Pedley. Some excellent young people. Not unfortunately, but realistically, they're all females. It would be great to have some males as well. But we'll get there. But just wanted to say, yeah, we do have quite a few, not quite a few, but several good young doctors and vets coming up, and hopefully some of the males will join them as well.
But and we see the numbers that you've spoken of, and it's quite obvious that it would probably be sort of a struggle in Cayman for all of them to exist if they're looking to earn a decent living, raise a family, and everything else. Some of them are in it just basically for the passion and for the love of it. But we should be exploring what can we do to assist them to be able to come back to Cayman if that's what they want to do.
Well, I don't know. I'm more optimistic than that, because we hear about food sustainability, food, the importance of feeding ourselves, especially in this environment. But also we have lots of opportunities. The government is full of male and female agriculture specialists who came here from different countries. Thankfully, I know many of them good people personally. But the thing is, there are job opportunities, as you say, I think, within the government and the private sector. Even the marine biologists, we should have a dozen or 2 dozen of them by now. We got CCMI doing great work from the old Cayman. They just got $1 million contract to do overseas research, or 12-mile bank, and around Cayman anyway.
Yeah, and once you mentioned that, and my apologies for interrupting you there, but I wanted to talk about that a little bit, because I hope and I trust, and sometimes I have reason to be skeptical, but I hope and I trust that what they're doing, the studies that they're doing there, that we don't end up with a situation where we end up again victimizing to a certain extent Caymanian fishermen who earn a living by fishing those banks as well. So I hope that that's not an underhanded way to put restrictions on them.
Well, I don't think that's the intent. But growing up in a fishing family, I know full well. We've been there fishing with legal DOE approved fish spots. And we've watched divers with the water glass, watched them go down and rip the fish spot apart and cut off the rope, right? And you know what it does then when a fish spot is down there damaged? It just continues to kill fish until 10, 20 years when it finally disintegrates.
Yeah.
So they think they're helping by cutting away fish spot ropes and doing things like that. But really, they have to learn some respect, and there's a balance between the environment, as you say, and the reality of, and the tradition, the culture, and the fact that people need to eat. Cayman, I think about it sometimes that Cayman jumped so quickly from the early lifestyles into the modern life, the technology age, that we never went through the development phases that most developing countries do, and the critical phase is the agriculture phase, which usually precedes the industrial phase. So we never developed, yes, we have people that love to fish, but we never developed a fishing fleet, a fishing industry, in spite of all the beautiful waters and fish we have around us. We shouldn't have to import fish, really.
True.
but yeah, we the fishermen, as you say, that's another topic, but they need to be respected, and I think supported in this atmosphere now with unemployment. An investor or even government could sponsor, half a dozen fishing boats, fishing vessels to supply the local needs. So, that is an on-top market right there. You got boats coming here from Honduras and all over the place. That's good. We appreciate that. But we could do a lot better for ourselves, being the fishermen and the sailors that we traditionally have been.
And we do have those vessels that are locally owned as well. They're usually crewed by men from Central America, usually Honduras, but they are Caymanian owned as well, and they do a lot in terms of supplying the local market.
Right. But they mostly fish. My thing is that they mostly fish far away from Cayman.
Yeah.
We should develop a local fishing industry, and teach in the process. Teach young people how to respect the sea, the North Sound, all the other things, but not to exclude the locals from the process and say, no, you can't go in the water. You can't even throw a line and catch a grunt. That's not a good thing.
Yeah.
But going back to the doctors, congrats again to them, and hope you all have a good week.
Okay, thank you very much, and you do the same, and please stay safe as well. Ms. Susan, I believe we have enough time to grab another caller. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, OC, and your listeners. How are you today?
Good morning, Billy. Notice we have another star beside you now residing in Canada, right?
Well, yes. You see, and when I was listening to her talk and about her, she's a vet. And I mean, it was just so inspiring because, and in fact, I was going to mention that anyway, but it's good that you brought it up. I mean, it's just so good to hear somebody who's Caymanian has succeeded in that way. Yes. I'm not saying there are few Caymanians. She has really, there are quite many of them when you consider the population. But she has succeeded, and she is not just like making money in her profession, but she is got this sense of contributing to not just her own society, but also the international society.
Yes.
I mean, to imagine that she can go all the way to Poland and to help people and deal with a particular need there, which she has seen that her profession can contribute in. I mean, to hear, when you hear that somebody won't leave a country because they won't leave their pet, I mean, that kind of knocked me out because where I come from, pets are important, but they are quite secondary, But it was so good to hear that. In fact, I was just thinking, I don't know if there's a Caymanian society in the Greater Toronto area, which is where I am. I think I should try to reach out and see if I can connect with some of these people, because I know, like she did say that she wants to do some work back home as well. And I know that sometimes when they do that, like they might want to find out, well, what are the legalities about doing this? I mean, I'm still well connected with the Cayman legal system, and that is something I could be able to help with. And I just got that in my mind when I was listening to her talk. Now, also, I was so grateful last week when you and Dr. Steve said something about the current case which is going on. Oh, well, it's not going on really, in the sense that, the case about the fair trial?
Yes.
Yes, that one. Actually, it's the Jian case, Jian. It's a Chinese case, yeah. That Jian case. I just thought, let me comment a little bit on that, because sometimes your comments can have a little more impact when they are being made with a case going on rather than just being made at another time.
So true.
You see, there are two things there which I want to talk about. One is the perception of justice in such cases, as well as a perception of corruption. Firstly, in that case, basically, they argued that they will not be able to get justice and that there will be no appearance of justice as well. And those two, usually in law, as you know, they are considered to be separate and yet interdependent, in that you want there to be justice in substance, but also you want to make sure that the people can see when a decision is made that actually there was justice. Now, in my case, I'm making those two arguments, my case coming up before the Court of Appeal on the 31st of August. I'm making those two arguments that there was no justice in the appearance of justice. But in addition, I'm also making the case that there has been a perception of corruption. I won't accuse anybody of corruption on your show, but we have to talk about the perception of corruption.
Yes.
You see, the perception of corruption is, and I'm trying to see if I can finish before your hour here. You see, when I filed a motion initially to say that I've been denied a right to a fair trial, it first went to the Court of Appeal. It's a long story about how it went there first. But anyway, when it went there, the following is what the governor and the attorney general said. It's only 4 lines long. I'll read it. it said that we note with considerable concern the content of the applicant's evidence, that's my evidence, submitted by way of an affidavit sworn on 10 November 2019. His evidence appears to raise significant allegations which should be tested by way of cross-examination and with reference to relevant documents provided by way of disclosure, unquote. And these were allegations against Mr. Justice Ian Kawali. So the court, when they saw my documents, instead of saying, why are you making such serious allegations without proof? They couldn't say that. Why? Because I had the documents. But what did they do after they did that? They recommended the matter should go to the Grand Court. And yet when I went to the Grand Court and I filed my papers in the Grand Court, the same governor and the Attorney General came back and they said, this matter must be struck off. Okay? Are you on the hour? I have to stop, I guess. So.
Okay, I don't know if you want to hold on and continue after we return from the break.
Thank you.
Folks, top of the hour headline news. Please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
Today's biggest news.
Radio Cayman. Your voice, your choice.
Local, regional, international. This is Headlines from Radio Cayman's newsroom.
Today's biggest news.
The Royal Cayman Islands Police Service says on Saturday they arrested Charles Walton III on suspicion of robbery. The 25-year-old had been on the run, with police issuing a call for help from the public back on July 21st. The first ship carrying grain has left a Ukrainian port under a landmark deal with Russia. Turkish and Ukrainian officials say the ship left the southern port of Odessa early this morning. Russia has been blockading Ukrainian ports since February, but the two sides made a deal to resume shipments. It's hoped the agreement will ease the global food crisis and lower the price of grain. And Beyoncé is facing criticism for using an ableist slur in some lyrics in her new album, Renaissance. The derogatory term, often used to demean people with spastic cerebral palsy, occurs twice in the song Heated, co-written by Canadian star Drake. It comes just a couple of weeks after U.S. pop star Lizzo apologized for using the same word in her song Girls. After that incident, Beyoncé's song, quote, feels like a slap in the face, according to disability advocate Hannah Divinity. Those are your headlines. I'm Karsley Fuller.
For the latest in news and information,
follow Radio Cayman on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Download the Radio Cayman app or log on to our website, radiocayman.gov.ky.
For the record, with Ort Connor.
Initiating system.
For information that matters. For the record, with Ort Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. I think Mr. Samamba is still with us. Billy?
Yes, thanks very much, Ossie, and for allowing me to conclude my submission here.
Sure.
Yeah. So this is now the Attorney General and the Governor. They have said they are concerned about the way this judge has behaved on the basis of what I had provided to them, and they really had no option but to say that, because the judge had said, again, this information is already public. The judge had said, well, look, I had denied this person a Zoom hearing because he asked for it just shortly before the hearing. Now, that was not true, because it was asked for at least 8 weeks in advance, and I had 12 emails to show that, which I filed together with my affidavit. So the judge was lying. There's no doubt about it. Secondly, he also said, well, but you see, he never made any real written submissions. They were just broad statements. That, again, was a lie. I submitted 52 cases in a 41-page submission, and so that, too, was a lie. So when they looked at that, they could see that I had substance to my comments. But having agreed, and this is the point I'm trying to make, having agreed that these are matters relating to, which are very important and concerning, and that they should go to the Grand Court and be litigated, weeks later, they, AG and Governor, went back now to the Grand Court to say, can you strike this matter out? It should not be heard. Now, striking out a matter, for those who don't understand in the public, striking out a matter is an exceptional thing you do. If somebody brings a claim, but the claim is so frivolous, so vexatious, it is actually an abuse of the process of the court, even to take it there. Then the court has to say, look, we won't even go to trial over this matter. We won't spend time on this. We'll just strike it out because you are abusing the process. So how can the same governor who saw the evidence, together with the Attorney General, they saw it and then they said, well, this is a problem. we want it investigated, then just make a total about face to say that it should not even be heard. What does that do, OC? It gives a perception of corruption because it makes people think, hey, what happened between the two events? And more than that, then they said, we want a special order from this court to say that Mr. Simamba should not be allowed to bring any other case without a special leave from the judge. In other words, they wanted really to shut me out. Now, the problem with that is this, OC. The way the law operates is like this. When you give an indication to a court to say, this is the position we will take, you can't come back and renege from that position without a reason. And normally a court will allow you to renege from something you have filed if you can show that when you gave that undertaking, you were not aware of certain things. For example, if you show, hey, there was fraud, mistake, or misrepresentation, but now that we've discovered this fraud, mistake, or misrepresentation, we are reneging from that position. Like in my case, for example, they would have said, you know what, he gave us these emails which were so damning, but we have since found out that they were fake. We now have final, irrefutable evidence that they are fake. We can't agree to that. But there's nothing like that, OC. There's nothing to try to explain why they have changed. It gives a perception that somebody went out there and said, hey, can you protect this person? And therefore, dismiss the case. And to me, what I'm disappointed with was that in the Grand Court, the judge never put the government under pressure to say, hey, you were in favor of this hearing before. What has happened? He just decided to say, oh, no, it doesn't matter because as far as I'm concerned, we are deciding the case. The governor is not deciding the case. So perception of corruption is important. I think Mr. Martin Roper, I'm calling him out together with the Attorney General. They are giving a perception of corruption, especially when they are killing other countries like the BVI about perception of corruption. They should ensure that they clean their own house and ensure that there is no perception of corruption. There may be no corruption, but there is a perception of corruption. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Billy, for that as well. Ms. Susan, do we have any other callers on hold? No callers on hold. Let me share some WhatsApp messages here. This person said earlier this morning, says, all the talk about assisting / sheltering criminals on the run are that sheltering and assisting criminals who are on the run, that is against the law. Person says, has anyone ever been charged with this offense? If not, why? We all know it happens lots of times. People help criminals on the run. I would imagine that in some instances, it is a very difficult. The burden of proof, of course, is on the government, the prosecution, and that's a pretty high bar because you have to know the person's intent, what the person knew at the time that they were sheltering, whether or not they knew the person was a fugitive or whatever. It is very difficult to prove, very difficult to prosecute unless you get an admission from the person at the end of the day, or if you really, really have hard evidence that the person was aware of the fact that they were sheltering someone who was wanted. Oh, by the way, also, and Billy mentioned this, about Caymanians in Canada, and Dr. Mel Moore is more than happy. You heard her earlier said that if anyone wanted to contact her, especially young Caymanians, and she would share her information with them. Her number is area code 437-986-7202, and that's by WhatsApp, right? 437-986-7202, or you can email her at melanie.moore 094@hotmail.com. So she'd be more than happy to talk to young Caymanians, I would imagine, especially those who are interested in the field of veterinary medicine, but otherwise as well. If you just you're planning on going off to university, maybe Wales, where she was from, where she went. I think I said Scotland, but it is actually Wales, or university in Canada as well. And talk to her about her experiences. I'm sure she can render some advice to you as well. But folks, that is one of the reasons why we have, and there are many reasons why we have to preserve Cayman for Caymanians, is that we have so many generational Caymanians who have made huge accomplishments in their chosen field, who should, if they want to, return to the Cayman Islands and fully participate in the development of Cayman. But I am not sure that we can do that, hold out that olive branch to them, and at the same time have almost unrestricted access to the Cayman Islands by others based on the immigration policies and laws and regulations that we have for the Cayman Islands. An area of less than 150 square miles in the 3 islands, and a population of little over 71,000 persons. We cannot afford, we do not have the luxury of offering citizenship, or I should say Caymanian status, because citizenship that's controlled by the British Nationality Act. That is the British Overseas Territory citizen. We have no control, over that, other than the length of time that we allow persons to be able to remain in the Cayman Islands, acquire permanent residence, and as a result of acquiring permanent residence, then being able to apply for a British Overseas Territories citizenship. But we do not have the luxury of offering Caymanian status to everyone who comes to these islands, and work here. If we focus on the fact that we need to protect our heritage, we need to protect our identity, and we are doing it based on what our Constitution allows, if we focus on that, we can do something about it. Otherwise, if we don't do something, persons like Dr. Mel Moore and others will have to return to the Cayman Islands and compete. We will relegate them to a status that is, and I'm not saying that a work permit holder is a low status, but we will be relegating them to a status that is lower than a work permit holder, or the equivalent of a work permit holder, by the mere fact that they will come here and have to compete in their own country against non-nationals of this country in order to be able to contribute and to also survive. We have to address this problem. We are not addressing this problem. We hear successive governments speak about it. We hear people talk about the Caymanian Protection Law, and we need to bring the Caymanian Protection Law. Let me say to people, right? Caymanian Protection Law, all it is a nomenclature, right? The Caymanian Protection Law was crafted or basically copied from the Bermudan Protection Law. What we did was we called it the Caymanian Protection Law. But bringing the Caymanian Protection Law in itself back does not accomplish anything, because the Caymanian Protection Law, at the time that it came into force in 1972, was addressing the conditions that existed during that period. We have moved along so far away from that period. We need to develop modern, relevant immigration laws and policies to suit the conditions that exist now and the conditions that will exist in the future when persons like Dr. Mel Moore Hernandez seek to return to these shores. We are not doing it. We're moving along with the same policies. We are letting the puppet masters control the situation. Some of those puppet masters may be Caymanians themselves, because the business community, they will say to you, in order for us to run a business, we need to have this, we need to have that, we need to have those policies. Many times those needs and those policies that they're looking for, they're not necessarily aligned. They're not necessarily aligned with the interest of Caymanians and preserving Cayman for Caymanians. With that, we will take a commercial break. Folks, please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
We think it's time you crossed over to a new vehicle. And with the Toyota Corolla Cross, now at Vant Motors, you have plenty of reasons to make the switch. The crossover body and hybrid engine is a sleek design in a sturdy structure with a spacious interior that opens to extensive cargo space. Stuck in traffic? The high-performance self-charging hybrid system automatically switches between gas and electric vehicle mode, helping you lower both fuel costs and carbon emissions. The Corolla Cross has full LED lighting inside and out, an integrated display audio system with energy monitor, and a dual-zone climate control system to ensure comfort for all. Test drive the new Toyota Corolla Cross Hybrid today at Vant Motors, Walkers Road.
Make your house into a home. Welcome to Brand Source Home Gallery, your source for premium products and a premium experience. We'll design and install your dream kitchen with crafted cabinets, complemented with elegant appliances. We'll fill it with quality houseware and cookware. Custom designed closet and storage solutions organize and beautify any area. And with the finest bedding, you'll get a perfect night's sleep knowing Brand Source Home Gallery has everything you need to make your house a home.
JN Money presents the official Jamaica 60th Independence Celebrations on Friday, August 5th at the Lion Center, featuring from Jamaica, General Degree, alongside Erica Asai, Leroy Evans, Rose Gold, Dream Chasers dancers, and much more. There will be kids talent contest, best dress, and a dancing contest. Lots of prizes and giveaways, plus the best Jamaican food all day long. Health fair from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. where you can get your PSA, diabetes, and blood pressure checked for free. Music by DJ Bengal and MC Lady T. Don't miss the Jamaica Independence Celebrations Friday, August 5th at the Lion Center, featuring General Degree. Admission is absolutely free. Sponsored by Kingston 62, Best Dressed Chicken, Popeyes, Royal Medical, Kmart Discount Store, People's Choice Grocery, Nathan General, Hot 104.1 FM, Cayman Airways, Cost You Less, Radio Cayman, and Breeze FM.
For the Record with Ort Connor.
Initiating system.
For information that matter. For the Record with Ort Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. No guests in the studio with me. Phone lines are open. I wanted to share with you. We do have a caller, so I'm going to do that, and I'm going to share with you, if time allows, again, one of our Tradewinds article about what was being done in the tourism industry in the 1960s as well. Let's go to the phone lines. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, Mr. For the Record.
Good morning, Doc. Good morning. How are you?
Pretty good. How are you?
I'm fine, thanks.
Yeah, how are you?
I'm getting an echo. We're getting an echo, Doc.
So how are you doing this morning?
I'm fine. I'm fine, Doc. How are you?
Good. Good. I want to congratulate the young doctor there.
Yes, yes.
And our friend Ahad's daughter. And Canada's a good place. It has developed a lot of Caymanians. Among her, myself, Roy Borden, and so many other people from this country. And I concur with you with what you said about. I concur with you about what you said about. I concur with you about what you said about coming back. You hear me?
Yes, I am. Yes, I am, Doc.
Concur with you what you say about coming back and about the immigration law needs to be remodeled to reflect the reality of what's happening today.
Yes.
Because it is not like 1962 or 1972, and I think that as chairman of the board, from a residence and status board, I see it every Thursday when we have board meetings of all the work that we have to do. I won't go any further than that.
Okay.
And the other thing I want to talk to you about is our friend Billy.
Yes.
Mr. Samamba. His case is not finished yet, is it?
No. It's I think is it next week? A few weeks time it'll be heard.
Yes. So his case is still sub judice. So I think you ought to be careful of having him come on and go on discussing the rudiments of his case in the public, and then are making accusations against other people who do not have the right or who do not want to come on to your show to say that
respond.
Otherwise. And I think that could be a little danger for yourself. I think although he's our friend, I think we ought to remind him that he should not be using the radio to discuss those matters those issues that are before the court. That's what I think.
I think he tries to be as careful as possible to say what is in the what is already out in the public domain.
Not so careful calling judges corrupt and corrupt decisions and judges are liars and things like that. That's not right. In the domain in which he's using it, I think that he should wait until after the case. And then maybe he should make statements, but I don't think he should be trying those issues before the public.
Got you. Understood.
Okay? That's all I have to say.
Okay, Doc, want to thank you. Thank you very much, for that. And certainly, Doc is well experienced and one of the senior lawyers in the Cayman Islands, and his opinion, his views are certainly of value. So we're going to switch gears, and we're going to talk about, we see a lot, we hear a lot about training in the Cayman Islands. Those days when we had no other choice, I'm going to put it that way, when we had no other choice but to hire Caymanians, because Cayman wasn't the attractive place that it is today. But not only that, we had people in the Cayman Islands, leaders, who not only talk the talk, but they also walk the walk when it came to the employment of Caymanians. And I would say that we had it on both sides, not only, government views and policies in that regard, but those entities, those enterprises that came to the Cayman Islands and were seeking to do business here in the Cayman Islands also recognized the fact that they had to utilize local talent. And if the talent wasn't there, but the material to develop the talent, to turn into talent was there, meaning in terms of persons, that they then took those and taught them, and ensured that they then had the talents to be able to assist those enterprises. So, for instance, we had a hotel training school that was run by, of course, Teacher Macfield, and I think Mr. Rudy Seltzer was involved in that as well. But then we will talk, you will see names mentioned like John Hatch, who is the president of the Hotel Association. The Hatches still live here today, still contribute. They haven't gone anywhere. They were in for the long haul in the Cayman Islands as well. So I'm going to share this article with you. So 4th of August, 1966, the graduating ceremonies for the first class of the hotel training school in dining room service, sponsored by the Cayman Islands Hotel Association Incorporation, with the Evening Institute that was held at the Galleon Beach Hotel on Monday, the 1st of August, 1966. Folks, that is 56 years ago. To the date, Monday, the 1st of August. These certificates were presented to many Caymanians. The presentation was made by the president of the Cayman Islands Hotel Association, Mr. John Hatch, and you will recognize some of these names. Clorette Anglin from West Bay, Ellis Anglin, Gwendolyn Anglin, Joan Eleanor Borden, Esame Bush, Donna Mae Powery, Arlene Connor, I should declare an interest there, my sister, Anna Douglas, Andy, Naomi Ebanks, Cicely Ebanks, Celia Ebanks, Madonna Ebanks, Hermina Hurlston, John Hodson, Clarice McFarlane, Margaret Nixon, Ella Mae Powery, Francis Samuels, or precious Miss Phyllis May Scott, now Miss Phyllis Moxham or Miss Phyllis Jensen, Christine Smith of departed memory, Hyacinth Stewart. These graduates, they were given preference. They were then given preference by the members of the Hotel Association when hiring. So they weren't just saying that we will look to hire them. They were given preferential treatment, given preference, which they should have been given because they were all indigenous Caymanians. So it goes on to say that the Hotel Association wished to express their thanks and appreciation to Mr. Rudy Seltzer, who so ably instructed the class. He received several nice gifts from his students. Thanks are also extended to Mr. T.E. McFreel, who made the classroom available at the Secondary Modern School, right? And they then said that they should watch the newspapers for the next announcement for the next class to be held. But things of note there, right? We had the buy-in by the Hotel Association. We had the desire of Caymanians to be trained in those areas. We had the need for people in those areas. We had the commitment of the government to set up this evening institute to train Caymanians, and you had non-Caymanians who were prepared to train and to hire Caymanians. The rhetorical question, folks, do we have similar conditions in not only the tourism industry in the Cayman Islands, but other industries as well? Do we have all of those elements? I would call it the perfect storm, where all of those elements converged to make a successful Cayman. We have to take a commercial break. We have a few callers on hold. Please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
What's that? No sugar, same amazing taste? Coca-Cola Zero Sugar is here to stay. Classic taste, pure satisfaction. Be sure to stop into any Tortuga location and get your own case of Coke Zero. Or grab an ice-cold one straight from the cooler. Brought to you by Tortuga Distributors Limited. Coca-Cola, taste the feeling, Cayman.
Make your house into a home. Welcome to Brand Source Home Gallery, your source for premium products and a premium experience. We'll design and install your dream kitchen with crafted cabinets, complemented with elegant appliances. We'll fill it with quality houseware and cookware. Custom-designed closet and storage solutions organize and beautify any area. And with the finest bedding, you'll get a perfect night's sleep knowing Brand Source Home Gallery has everything you need to make your house a home.
Cybercrime happens online or through the technology we use every day. Anyone can be a victim of cybercrime, whether you are a young person being bullied or harassed online, or an older person or business who's been scammed out of money or personal data. Cybercrime is an issue that touches all of us. The Cayman Islands government has therefore created an online resource to help keep you cyber safe in an ever-changing world.
In online situations, it is better to be cyber safe than sorry. Learn now to protect yourself against cybercrime. Visit gov.ky/cybersafe.
For the record, with Ort Connor.
Initiating system.
For information that matters. For the record, with Ort Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. We're going straight to the phone lines. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Oh, not too bad.
How was the weekend?
Well rested. Well rested and enjoying a little bit of rain off and on. It was nice. Thankful. Like my brother said this morning that our eyes are open. Thank God.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, see, I was listening to her daughter. She sounds so intelligent.
She is, yes.
And I'm so proud of her, knowing that she is a Caymanian. And I'm proud of the way her parents raised her. She got a lot of Caymanian values in her.
Mm-hmm.
And if she can take that from Cayman to Canada and everywhere else, she's going to go to high places, And I just hope that some of our children would take some heed from her and know that they can do what their mind set to do when it comes to something educational and be some good asset to the country, the Cayman Islands.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sick and tired of hearing jobs to Cayman. We never had to say this many years ago. Must be the last 10 years now. We all can hear us saying jobs to Cayman, and it just puts a wrench in me every time I hear jobs to Cayman. We shouldn't have to repeat that on a daily basis because we are here, and we do need jobs, and some of the jobs are they claim that Caymanians can't do, but yet we got people coming here that is not in no high skill, and where do they go? Into taxi and tourism, and go peddling their vans, selling food and selling clothes and all that kind of stuff. I'm really not sure what is wrong with our young generation. I'm not sure what's wrong, but something is definitely wrong. Where the drive got to come from for our young people, I don't know. But if we don't soon get a drive for our young people, we ain't gonna have no young people here. What the word is representing this Cayman Island. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
And then when you got to take another man to represent Cayman, they hardly know anything about Cayman. And I have seen it, I have heard it. So I just want to say that I'm sick and tired of hearing jobs to Caymanians. So I'm just asking my people to come out and go and seek a job. Let's just take that mark down and say, our Caymanians are working now. Not saying jobs to Caymanians, because it's them that is making the fall, not those that that is out there getting something. They already went and got something and they're working. You understand?
Yep.
Or the Caymanians, So I just hope that we'll have a big change, turn around in our young people here in this island. Can I talk more?
Sure. Go right ahead.
A couple of days ago, my girlfriend she called me, and they do that new subdivision there on Savannah, the Greens, homes that being built on the left hand side coming from town.
Yes. Before you get to the Ponciana tree there.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Well, my girlfriend had tons of fruits in her yard. The pears that was not even ready, the breadfruits, the sour sops. And the guys that was working back there went and raided those trees.
Wow.
Cleaned the trees out. The only thing they didn't remove was the youngest breadfruit.
Mm.
And I think that's really, really unreal to see that a construction job is near residents that is living and got stuff in the yard. They just walk in, take their stuff. And the owner of the construction company, I'm quite sure they sell with a breadfruit or a pear or so, and do ask them where they get it from, knowing that there's not one plant on that property where they're building as yet.
Well, first of all, they should instruct their workers that they should not be going on other person's property there.
Exactly. I agree with you 100%. And I just hope that they take heed from now and warn their people that they just can't walk on the people's property and take as they like. And knowing that these people coming home at the end of the day and see that this stuff is stripped from the trees.
Yeah.
It is sad to see. I'm sad with the population going on right now, and everybody wants all this stuff, want to survive. If you want to survive and you got a job, well, leave the next man item alone in the yard.
Mm-hmm.
It not belongs to you.
I think last week there was a video that was going around where a young man found this person on his property with the 2 papayas in his hand, and he wasn't sure. And it was amazing that some persons were castigating the young man for putting the video out there. But those people need to be outed, because I am sure that whatever country that they come from, I'm not sure that there's any communal property where you can simply just go on land and you see fruits or whatever and you take them. And, these people need to understand that. And I would say that you not only do you have, foreigners doing it, but there are some Caymanians who do the same thing as well.
And, years gone by, you had no problem sharing those stuff with the next door neighbors. Even if they're cooking something, they can come to your yard and get the cooking and the breadfruit. And when you come home, you got your plate run down or salty and beans or whatever the case may be, But that gentleman with that video, if I was him, I would have put those 2 papayas down on the ground by that gentleman and drive away. I would not have stand up there and hold no conversation with that gentleman because he knew he was trespassing on a man's property. So they just made an ass of themselves there on this little video.
Yeah.
You know, but that's the kind of people that we're bringing in and showing them that with our laws are not being enforced, and they just come and do as they please because nobody is saying anything from that degree.
Yep.
And then when you blackmail them now on not blackmail, but when you put them on these videos, then embarrassment sets in, you know. But anyhow, thank you. You have a great day.
Thank you.
Congratulations. You all did a very good job being the mother and the daughter.
Yes.
And I hope she'll continue to go further and further and keep making Cayman proud.
That's right. She will.
Yeah.
She will. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
Let's grab the next caller. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How you doing?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm fine. I was listening to my friend a while ago. He was on just briefly, Dr. McPhail. Yeah. But on another note, OC, it is not just Cayman that they can't find workers or put it this way, a labor shortage. It's in big United States, other countries as well. What is the hurry to what I call overdevelop this country so much in a hurry? We need a moratorium, and we need it quickly. Because what's going to happen here is no more about Cayman Islands. This is Cayman Islands, I should say, city. I mean, what's really going on here? Who can't see something? I remember the ex-premier, Mr. McLaughlin, saying it's going to be bubbling. Yeah, sure as hell is bubbling. It's over-bubbled, my friend. I don't know what's going to happen here, but it's not a pretty situation. And then when you talk about the people coming here to work, it's a very unruly enormous amount of people here that don't care anything because they're not from here. They're only here temporary. And I think it is high time that somebody take the bull by the horns and do what we have to do. What's happening? Nobody's saying anything until a couple of weeks before election. You know, there's promises coming out of mouth, airs, air away, but nothing is happening, OC. You know, it's not a pretty situation here. A little small island like Cayman that is being developed into some humongous city like New York, California, Chicago. Where are we going with this island? That's my little question this morning. So basically, that's all I got to say. But it is something to be concerned about.
Okay, it certainly is. Certainly is. Caller, I want to thank you very much for your viewpoint as well. Let's grab the next caller. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Hello, OC. It's me again. Am I on?
Yes, you are, Billy.
Yeah, okay. I'm sorry I had to call back again just to respond to my good elder brother, Dr. Steve. Everything that comes from Dr. Steve, I take it and consider it very, very serious.
Certainly.
But I just have to push back. With him a little bit on what he said about what I said about my case. Now, one, what the law is that if you make a fair and accurate report, verbally or in writing, about what is going on in a court of law, or what has been filed in a court of law, or what is contained in a judgment of a court of law, there is nothing wrong with that. There is no contempt about that. If you try to distort it, yes. In my case, everything that I said to you today, if you go to the judgment, which is publicly sealed and made public officially on the judicial.ky website, you will find it is all there, all the arguments that I made. So I'm not quite sure where Dr. Steve really is coming from by saying that there's a danger in that.
Well, one of the things that he was saying, you used the terminology that, a judge lied, and he was saying that you need to be extremely careful, about using that terminology as well. And then he mentioned the fact that whether or asked the question or made the observation as to whether or not the case was still sub judice.
Yeah, the sub judice is not the issue. You can always talk about an issue even if it's sub judice. It's how you talk about it. For example, this allegation that the judge lied is an allegation I've made in the filings that I've done.
Okay.
The allegation is acknowledged in the judgment. In fact, I alleged 3 lies, and when you go to the judgment does say, Mr. Simamba makes the allegation that Judge so-and-so lied, and this is what he said. So it is in the judgment. So there is nothing wrong with saying this is what I alleged, and it is in the judgment. It's been officially released. The same thing about that perception of corruption. First of all, I expressly said, I don't want to accuse anybody of corruption, but I said, the argument I made before the court, again, you see that it is in the published judgment. I said that, the people I mentioned should not change their mind unless there's something clear. So I don't see where the problem is. I mean, how many times do we see newspapers all the time reporting to say this is what the lawyer said in court and this is what the other lawyer said in court? This is not different from that. So long as I don't come out there and I say things that were not fairly part of the proceedings, then that's a problem. And I think, you see, that's why in Cayman, judges particularly and other people have not been held accountable because there's been this whole thing about saying if you say a small thing about what happened in court, it's in contempt. Talking about Dr. Steve himself, I only raised this issue this time because I think last time when he read the case, the giant case, the Chinese case about fair trial, he wondered whether it would be helpful to me. I mean, he didn't fear that he might be found to be discussing something sub judice. There are sometimes Dr. Steve has come on your show and said, I am just from court today. My client was treated this way and that way. The other client was not treated this way and that way. It is very unfair how these people behave. So that, I mean, I'm not quite sure whether I would ask him to rethink his position because so long as something is in the official documents released by the court, a fair and accurate report of those proceedings or just saying this was my argument and this is what I'll be arguing on appeal, there is nothing illegal about that. I just thought that needs to be clarified.
Thank you. Thank you very much for that. Billy, we're going to take our last commercial break. Folks, please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
JN Money, money touchdown. Send the money now. Reach wow. You say you need some money. JN Money, I can send it in a hurry. Get through quick when you come collect your cash or use a money card and swipe it in a flash. Send funds to any bank, yeah. Pay your bills quick, yeah. Low fees, you know what it, yeah. JN Money, we are pick, yeah. Send and receive funds at any JN Money location. It's fast, affordable, and convenient. Money touchdown with JN Money. Send funds to any bank, yeah. Pay your bills quick, yeah. Low fees, you know what it, yeah. JN Money, we are pick, yeah.
Call 345-945-2014 for details. Available at JN Money locations across the Cayman Islands.
At Doctors Hospital, we know life happens, and usually when you least expect it. So when unexpected medical issues arise, you need quality care close to home. Located in the heart of Georgetown, our accomplished team of physicians and medical staff treat minor urgent conditions such as migraines, chest and abdominal pain, shortness of breath, burns, broken bones, open wounds, and more. 24 hours, 7 days a week with no appointment necessary. Peace of mind is important when life happens. At Doctors Hospital, we're always here just for you. Need to speak to someone? Call 949-6066.
The public are advised of the following road closure. The section of Cardinal Avenue between Albert Panton Street and Edward Street will be temporarily closed to traffic, projected to reopen at the end of August. As part of the Georgetown Revitalization Initiative, work is being carried out to transform Cardinal Avenue into a pedestrian-friendly street. For more information, members of the public can follow the Georgetown Revitalization Initiative on Facebook and Instagram at GT Revitalization.
For the record, with Ort Connor.
Initiating system.
For information that matters. For the record, with Ort Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. We're on the last leg of the show this morning. I'm going to share a few WhatsApp messages that I received as well. This one says, good morning. A window of opportunity for addressing our immigration, PR, and Caymanian status issues with real solutions is closing rapidly. The recent census report confirms this. We need a system which allows reasonable security of tenure for all needed and suitably expat employees, but not at the expense of Caymanian employees. QR or future generations. We need a new system soon. That is one. The other one reads, good morning. I agree with what you are saying about changing our immigration laws also. If this government has the guts to do it, then they need to ensure that laws cannot be challenged and cases won. They need immigration laws watertight. Well, it's practically impossible to have any watertight legislation, but we also, if we're living in a so-called democratic society, then we also have to have the avenues open for people to make challenges, legal challenges, when they feel that either a law is wrong or the way that the law is being applied is, unlawful as well. So those are also important elements of that. But yes, I agree that when we're crafting our legislation, and we see, for instance, with the Privy Council case on same-sex marriages, for Cayman, and the huge amount of discussion that took place when we were crafting our Bill of Rights, that at the end of the day, we got it right. Now, it went through several court challenges before a final decision was rendered by the Privy Council, but at the end of the day, the government's position prevailed, and the provisions of our Bill of Rights were upheld in that instance. But yes, and I'm sure that we would have a sympathetic ear from the United Kingdom if we sought to craft our legislation in such a way that it protects our heritage, it protects our future existence as Caymanians, and it protects us from becoming a minority in our own country. The UK, they feel that they are facing similar challenges, over there as well. You saw Theresa May during her administration, who basically pointed out that they were going to be creating a hostile environment, for persons who were non-citizens in the United Kingdom, as well. So, what this writer is saying, certainly agree. This one says, I am from a very honest, respectable family. We could never, ever look over in a person's property. And some terminology is made there. They are all over the place, reading things that don't, reaping things that they don't plant. Person says that they watch a group of, went into a lady's property and tear down young mangoes on the tree. There are some countries that are having issues with predial larceny, and some of those persons bring their bad habits to the Cayman Islands as well. But again, I would reiterate that those activities may not necessarily be restricted to non-Caymanians. Caymanians do similar things as well. We know it. In the past, I have talked about, the hitters riding around on their bicycles with their crutch sticks and their baskets, and they don't own 1 inch of property, but they're out there taking things, selling them to feed their drug habits, as well. And those things need to be addressed, whether or not we need to give them some assistance in terms of dealing with their drug addiction. But those things do happen. So we don't necessarily want to pin it on just non-Caymanians, but we all have to take responsibility. But the sanctity of property, the fact that this is a person's property and it should be respected. In most instances, if you ask someone for something, you see it on their property, can I have this? Or if you even offer to purchase it, that really is the way to go. Now, there are persons who, the old saying would say, they mean, and they may have the fruits and they may be dropping underground and staying right there and rot, and they will not allow anyone to partake of those things. There are people like that, and it is unfortunate that we have them, and those persons need some sort of help. But at the same time, it gives no one a right to enter a person's property without permission, taking what they want and leaving it as well. And like I said, there are some people, and that attitude, it is in their DNA, and they bring it with them, and they also try to practice it here in the Cayman Islands as well, which is extremely, extremely unfortunate. There was something that I had that someone shared with me. Oh, yes. Hopefully I can find this. I'll share this. We saw in the past, we'd have Dr. McFeel on our show talking about Mr. Mellard Russell. And, one family member has shared a photograph of Mr. Mellard Russell with us on the weekend. Mr. Ray Banker, photograph of Mr. Mellard Russell. And want to thank that Mr. Ray Banker for sharing that with us as well. Folks, we talk about our history. We have such a rich history, and it is really enlightening to see so many Caymanians using the social media platforms to share information about their ancestry, about our history in the Cayman Islands. That to me is the first step, the first stages of creating a national identity. And what we have to do is that other than sharing it amongst ourselves, we have to put it out there as well. One more thing quickly before I close off. We know that the Cayman Islands, that we have sent contingent off to the Commonwealth Games. One of the big issues that we have had in the past in Cayman was representation overseas. And there were instances where, football teams or whatever person living in the Cayman Islands, they always thought that they, because they were born in the Cayman Islands, that they were Caymanians, and because of our British Nationality Act and or immigration law, they didn't necessarily qualify, but they were able to get passports for them to be able to go overseas to represent the Cayman Islands. I'm hearing about some sporting organizations where remarks are being made about the fact that when they're told that you can only represent the Cayman Islands if you are Caymanian. And some people saying, oh, well, that needs to change. You tell me why it needs to change. If you are going away to represent the Cayman Islands in an international event, you should. Not only should, there are many instances where the requirements are that you must be Caymanian. You must also hold a Caymanian or a British Overseas Territories passport that says the Cayman Islands. Now, those of you who want to change that to be able for you to qualify to go overseas and participate, I'm sorry, but there are certain things that are reserved for Caymanians, and no second thought, not even the first thought, should be given about changing those qualifications to allow persons of non-Caymanian status to be able to represent us. I don't know if some of you may remember that somewhere, I think it might have been sometime in the 70s, we had a very embarrassing situation at an international event where someone, claiming, representing the Cayman Islands, and it wasn't pretty at all. It didn't make the Cayman Islands look good on the map. So again, just bearing in mind that there are certain things that are reserved exclusively for those persons who are Caymanian, and that should not change. Folks, I want to thank you for allowing Radio Cayman, and by extension For the Record, into your homes, into your vehicles, as you traverse the busy roads of the Cayman Islands, into your places of work, wherever that may be. I also want to remind you that we are our brothers and our sisters' keepers. There is always someone out there who's less fortunate than we are, and I ask you to extend a helping hand to them. If you can't do that, then I suggest you donate to Worthy Charity, because we always want to consider those who need, not necessarily those who want or even those who crave. So I say to you, have a great day. Continue to support your radio station, Radio Cayman. Join Sterling Dwayne Banks at 12:15 for Talk Today. And as usual, we ask the good Lord to bless these three beautiful, wonderful Cayman Islands.
For the Record is brought to you by Vamped Motors, the only authorized Ford and Toyota dealership serving the Cayman Islands. Coca-Cola, available across the Cayman Islands from Tortuga distributors. Accept no substitutes. Taste the feeling with Coca-Cola. Brand Source Home Gallery, inspiring luxury. West Bay Pharmacy, taking care of your health. And JN Money. From abroad to yard. Fast, affordable, convenient. Doctor's Hospital. Peace of mind is important when life happens. Doctor's Hospital, always there for you. Call 949-6066.
Continuing the Caymanian tradition.
Let Cora keep my ground so clean.
The heart and soul of the Cayman people. Thank you for keeping the culture alive.
Let's spread the news every day. From East End to Georgetown, down into West Bay.